Peter just stepped off the first private plane he'd ever been on in all his 10 years of life. Before that, he'd been on his first regular plane in all his life, a big plane that took him from his home in Interlaken, Switzerland, through Helsinki, and on to his final stop in Tokyo, Japan. If he'd done the calculations correctly and included the time changes, that meant he'd been traveling for over 17 hours, and he still wasn't there yet. "You must be Peter," said a young woman standing on the jetway of the airport as he walked down the wobbly steps of the small plane. He'd just woken up from a nap. Flying across the world was exhausting business, and he had crusty eyes and bad breath. He smiled at the woman and raised a hand in greeting, not wanting to blow his dragon breath on an innocent bystander. She shook his hand heartily. "I'm Ingrid from the Noodle Society," she said, holding her pale blonde hair back while the wind whipped around them. "It's great to have you here. Welcome to Tokyo." He nodded his head, hoping she'd offer him a peppermint or something. "The others have already arrived. You're the last, since you had the furthest to travel," she said as she led him toward a van waiting near the parked plane. Ingrid wore a fitted yellow suit and clickety-clackety heels, making Peter feel like he was being led to a job interview, which, in a way, he was. The Noodle Society was a big deal in the food world, even if very few people talked about it being a secret society and all. Ingrid pulled open the door of the van. "In you go," she said. He ducked inside the van and saw 3 sets of eyes looking back at him, 2 girls and 1 boy. He muttered a quick hello at them as he took the first seat by the door, next to a girl with red hair. Ingrid slid the door shut with a thwack and hopped in the front seat. "Buckle up, everyone," she said. A man with black hair and even blacker sunglasses was at the wheel. He didn't speak as they drove across the airport. "It's going to be a long drive." "We're leaving Tokyo already?" Peter asked. "Is the food here that bad?" He was joking, but the others gave him a questioning look. Why come all this way, to one of the best culinary cities in the entire world, especially for noodles, only to leave 3 minutes later? "Where are we going?" asked a girl's voice from the back seat. "I feel like a prisoner not being told the details of our itinerary." Ingrid laughed. "If this is prison, then surely you'll be in heaven when we arrive. Don't worry. Your parents have all the contact information and necessary phone numbers. However, they have all signed strict confidentiality clauses, which means they can never tell anyone where the society is located. And since not everyone in this van will be invited to join," she said, "the location will also be kept secret from you." "Except we know we're in Japan," said the redhead next to him. She popped the gum in her mouth. "From everything I've read about Japan, and I've read a lot, it seems awesome. I'm down for wherever we end up, like Miss Ingrid said. From here, it can only get better." She looked at the 2 kids in the back seat. "I mean, we got to ride in a private plane. Have you ever?" The blonde in the back seat sniffed. "Yes, I have. And I have been to Japan as well." The redhead turned back to Peter. "I guess we can't all be so well-traveled. I'm Jill, by the way, from the States, Savannah, Georgia. This is Lillian from France," she said, pointing to the well-traveled blonde. "And that's Miko, from here, in Japan. Hey, Miko, where in Japan are you from?" "Kyoto," he said. "It's a large city, but rather quiet. Lots of temples, Zen gardens, many places to quiet the mind. Welcome, by the way, to my country." "Thanks," Peter said. "I'm Peter from Switzerland, a little village outside Interlaken." "What's it like there?" Jill asked. She popped her gum as she turned to face him. Although the popping of her gum was annoying, Peter considered asking her for a piece to cut down on the smell of his breath. "Very dry and flat," he said. "Hardly any animals, too. Got any more gum?" Jill eyed him for a moment. She reached into her bright pink bag and pulled out several packets of gum. Peter took 2 pieces of peppermint and jammed them in his mouth. "You're funny," Jill said. "I've never been to Switzerland, but